What's up, everyone? We're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. And I did want to share the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 20 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we're on a huge hot streak. But if you want to get 20 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $2,000 just yesterday, and another member who won $300 for the 7th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So shouts out to Chris Loves You, who said let's cash out, and also shouts out to Future Life C5X, who said let's go game time baby. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. So let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're talking about is none other than Shakira Austin, and this one is for 8.5 rebounds, and this one is for less. Now looking at Shakira Austin, we actually have seen her go on the under in 4 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those 5 games, we see on July 11th faced off against the Aces, had 8 rebounds there. Then July 14th faced off against Seattle, had 7 rebounds. Then July 16th faced off against the Sparks, had 8 rebounds. July 23rd faced off against the Sparks, had 6 rebounds in that matchup. And then July 27th faced off against Seattle and had 11 rebounds there. So you actually have seen Shakira Austin go on the under quite consistently. We did see her average over the last 5 only 8. And on top of that, we also did see that Washington face off against, Phoenix Mercury. Now looking at both of these teams, starting off with Washington Mystics, we do know that they come in at the 7th spot in the WNBA. They have a record of 12 wins and 12 losses, and that's a 50% win percentage. They're 8-4 from home, 4-8 from away, and also are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now they face off against Phoenix Mercury, and Mercury on the other side actually come in at the 3rd spot in the WNBA. They have a record of 15 wins and 9 losses. That's a 62.5% win percentage. They're also 9-4 from home, 6-5 from away, and are currently on a 3-game losing streak as well. So it's definitely interesting to see there. Now looking at this matchup, we do also see that, Shakira Austin and also Washington Mystics face off against Phoenix. But on top of that, looking at them defensively, we do know Phoenix Mercury do actually rank when it comes to rebounds allowed. We do know that they actually rank 9th. So they rank pretty low in that category. However, why do we like the under for someone like Shakira? And the big reason being is that when we look on a per position basis, we do actually see that Phoenix Mercury do a fantastic job at restricting, rebounds to the big man position, or big woman in this case. I do like to say bigs instead, but to the forward center position, Phoenix do a great job defensively, especially in the rebounding department. And that's why we do very much like the under for this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one for someone like Shakira. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favorite for the under as well. So that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, Shakira Austin, 8.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Brionna Jones. The Brionna Jones, great player. This one is for 11.5 points, and this one is for less. Now looking at Brionna Jones, we actually have seen her go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now 4 out of the last 5 games. And looking at those 5 games, we do see on July 12th, faced off against Indiana, had 6 points there. After that, July 14th, faced off against New York Liberty, had 8 points in that matchup. July 17th, faced off against Chicago, had 14 points in that matchup. Then 7 points against Las Vegas Aces on July 23rd. And July 24th, face off against Phoenix and had 8 points there. So we have seen Brionna Jones actually go on the under in 4 out of the last 5, and her average over the last 5 is also 8.6. So it's definitely been on the lower side and significantly below her line. Now looking at Atlanta, we do know they have themselves a great matchup against Minnesota Lynx. Now, it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at this matchup more intensely, We do know, starting off with Atlanta and where they do rank, we do know Atlanta rank 4th in the WNBA. They have a record of 14 wins and 10 losses. That's a 58.3% win percentage. They're 8-3 from home, 6-7 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. On top of that, they face off against none other than Minnesota Lynx, as we've mentioned. Now, Minnesota Lynx on the other side do have the #1 spot in the actual WNBA. 22 wins, 4 losses, 84.6% win percentage, and are also 14-0 from home, 8-4 from away, and are currently on a 4-game win streak. Now, looking at this matchup and looking at Minnesota Lynx, we do know Minnesota do rank 1st when it comes to points allowed, and that's a no-brainer sign to us on why we do very much like the under for this situation here. Brianna Jones is a great player, but what we have seen is that her usage rate in the points department has definitely been on the lower side, and that's a big reason why we still do like the under coming into this situation. It is kind of a no-brainer to us. She has a very low usage rate as of lately. Minnesota are a fantastic team defensively. And just to top it all off, when you look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have her favored for the under as well. So that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this situation here between, Brianna Jones and also her points line. So Brianna Jones, 11.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about Sonia Citron. So Sonia, great player, and this one is for 2.5 assists, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Sonia, we actually have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on July 11th, faced off against the Aces, had 0 assists there. Then had 0 assists again against Seattle on July 14th. And then July 16th, faced off against Los Angeles Sparks and had 6 assists there. Then also 6 assists again against Los Angeles Sparks on July 23rd. Then 3 assists against Seattle Storm on July 27th. So we have actually seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5, and her average over the last 5 is also 3. Now, looking at the matchup, we do know Washington faced off against Phoenix Mercury. Now, just to remind you all again, Washington Mystics do have a record of 12 wins and 12 losses. They are 7th in the WNBA, but also 4th in the Eastern Conference. And on top of that, they face off against none other than Phoenix Mercury, where Phoenix Mercury do actually have a record of 15 wins and 9 losses, 62.5% win percentage. They are also 3rd in the WNBA and also 2nd in the Western Conference. Now, coming into this game, looking at Phoenix Mercury, we do actually know that Phoenix Mercury, when it comes to actually assists allowed, we do see Mercury ranked 7th in assists allowed. Now, the reason why we do like the under for this one is when we look at a per position basis, we do actually see Phoenix do a fantastic job at restricting assists to the guard position, and that's where we definitely are expecting Sonia to struggle. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favorite for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for this one. Looking at, Sonia Citron on a per position basis, we do like the under, and we definitely see that being more possible. So Sonia Citron, 2.5 assists for less, I think is a great pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first we're going to be talking about is none other than Layla LeCon. Now, Layla LeCon, great player for none other than Connecticut Sun, and we have actually seen her do a fantastic job so far this season because we've actually seen her average 8.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 1.2 steals. So she's done a great job for Connecticut Sun, and when it comes to Connecticut Sun, we do actually find themselves having themselves a very good matchup against the Golden State Valkyries. Now, looking at both of these teams, starting off with Connecticut Sun, we do know Connecticut have had themselves a pretty tough season. They currently find themselves in 3 wins and 20 losses. So that's actually a 13% win percentage. So it definitely hasn't really been great for them. Now, they are also 2-9 from home, 1-11 from away, and are currently on a 4-game losing streak. On top of that, they also face off against none other than Golden State Valkyries, as we've mentioned. Now, Valkyries are doing a little bit better. They come in at the 9th spot in the WNBA. They have a record of 11 wins and 12 losses. That's a 47.8% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 8-4 from home, 3-8 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, on the other side of things, we also do see, looking at Golden State Valkyries defensively, we do see Golden State Valkyries do rank 3rd when it comes to points allowed. They also rank 6th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed, they do actually rank 5th. So, it's definitely been interesting there. We do see Golden State Valkyries do rank pretty mid-tier in all 3 categories. Points, they are a little bit higher for sure, but coming into this matchup, we do actually like the under for this situation here for someone like Layla. Now, when it comes to Layla, she is a great player, but what we do also see is that Golden State Valkyries actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the guard position. And for that reason, we do very much like the under for this one here. Looking at someone like Layla, what we also do see is that looking at, her last 5 games, you see on the 10th against Seattle, had a 93-83 victory, had 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists there. Then on the 12th, faced off against Seattle, had a 79-65 loss and had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. After that, on the 14th, faced off against LA Sparks, had a 92-88 loss with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists there. After that, faced off against Indiana, had an 85-77 loss with 19 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist there. Then faced off against the Sparks, had a 101-86 loss with 2 points, 1 rebound, and 6 assists there. So, we actually have seen Layla Khan, do pretty well in some games and actually do poorly in others. But where we have seen Layla definitely struggle is definitely against tougher defensive teams or tougher defensive teams against her position. And that's why coming into this next one against Golden State Valkyries, we are expecting a similar situation. Now, a big reason for this is that when we also look at Layla, what we also do see is that when it comes to her usage rate out there on the floor, yes, she does have a decent usage rate, but it isn't, the highest in this Connecticut Sun team. So we are expecting some of these other players to actually take a lot more of the usage rate away from her, which is one of the big reasons why we do still like the under for this one. So keep an eye out for Layla Khan's line. I see a lot of value there to go on the under, especially the line is too close to her averages. Now getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about Elizabeth Williams. So Elizabeth Williams, great player for none other than Chicago Sky, and she has done a fantastic job averaging 8 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and also 0.7 steals. Now, looking at this matchup, Chicago Sky, we do know that they face off against none other than Indiana Fever. Now, it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do rank, we do know Elizabeth Williams and Chicago Sky, we actually find them, in the 11th spot in the WNBA. They have a record of 7 wins, 17 losses. That's a 29.2% win percentage. They're also 4-7 from home, 3-10 from away, and are currently on a 4-game losing streak. Now, they do face off against none other than Indiana Fever, as we do know, and they currently rank 6th in the WNBA and have a record of 13 wins and 12 losses. That's a 52.0% win percentage. They're also 8-6 from home, 5-6 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So looking at both of these teams, they are a little bit different in ranked. Now, they are both in the same conference, but looking at Indiana Fever, we do know defensively that they have done a pretty decent job, but they do rank 8th in points allowed, 2nd in assists allowed, and then 3rd in actually 4th in rebounds allowed. So they actually are in a pretty decent position rebounds and assists wise. And that's why coming into this game, we do actually like the under for this situation for Elizabeth Williams, but strictly just for rebounds and assists. Now, a big reason being is that Indiana Fever just do a fantastic job all season at actually, restricting rebounds and assists. And that's why we are expecting the under for this situation here. Elizabeth Williams is a great player, do not get me wrong, but we have definitely seen her struggle in those two departments as well. Looking at her last 5 games, we see on the 13th, faced off against Minnesota Lynx, had an 87-81 victory there, but had 8 points, 0 rebounds, and 2 assists in that matchup. On the 15th, faced off against Minnesota, had a 91-78 loss with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists there. Then on the 17th, faced off against Atlanta, had an 86-49 loss with 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Then faced off against Minnesota with a 91-68 loss with 4 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist there. Then against Seattle had a 95-57 loss with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in that matchup. So we actually have seen, Elizabeth Williams do pretty decently in some games, and other games has definitely struggled in that rebounding and assist department. And coming against a team like Indiana Fever, who do a great job at restricting rebounds and assists, it's a no-brainer to us on why we do very much like the under for this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for Elizabeth Williams coming into this game. We see a lot of value there to go on the under, especially, if her line is too close to her averages. But like I said, focus a little bit more on rebounds and assists than anything else. So getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Dejanay Carrington. So Dejanay Carrington, great player for Dallas Wings, as we all know. Now, she's done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 10.8 points, 5.1 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and also 1.3 steals. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, looking at Dallas Wings, we actually have seen her do a decent job, overall this season. But looking at their next matchup, we do know they face off against the Las Vegas Aces. Now, looking at the Aces and also Dallas Wings, starting off with Dallas, we do know they rank 12th in the WNBA. They have a record of 7 wins and 18 losses. That's a 28% win percentage. They're also 4-7 from home, 3-11 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, they face off against the Las Vegas Aces, and when we look at the Aces, we do know that they rank 8th in the WNBA and have a record of 12 wins and 13 losses. That's a 48% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 7-4 from home, 5-9 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So it's definitely been pretty tough there. Now, looking at someone, like Dejanay Carrington, we definitely do very much like this matchup, as we have seen that Dejanay and also Dallas Wings. Looking at the Aces, we do know the Aces do rank when it comes to points allowed. They rank 9th, assists allowed, they rank 10th, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 10th. So they do actually rank pretty low in all 3 categories, and for that, we do very much like the over for someone like Dejanay. Now, Dejanay is a great player, do not get me wrong, but on top of that, the big reason why we do still like the over is due to the fact that Aces are just such a poor, defensive team that we definitely do very much like the over for this situation here. Now, looking at someone like Dejanay, we also do know, looking at this matchup, and looking at her last 5 games, she actually has faced off against the Aces before. We saw on the 14th of last month, faced off against Aces, had an 88-84 loss, had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists there. So she actually went over on all 3 of her averages. Then faced off against Golden State Valkyries. Now in that matchup, we actually saw her have an 80-71 victory with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists there. Then faced off against Connecticut Sun on the 21st, had 86-63 victory with 5 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 assist there. And then faced off against Seattle, had an 87-63 victory with actually 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. Then on the 26th, faced off against Valkyries again with an 86-76 loss with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist there. So we actually have seen Dejanay Carrington, do very well at times, especially against poor defensive teams. And the fact that we definitely have seen her go on the over, especially in that matchup against Aces, and was able to go on the over on multiple occasions, we do very much think that we are expecting the over for this situation here. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the over for this situation here for someone like Dejanay. We see a lot of value there for someone like her. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Wnba Bonner. So, Wnba Bonner, as we all know, great player from none other than Phoenix Mercury. Now, we actually have seen her do a great job so far this season for Phoenix, averaging 9.4 points, 4.1 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 1.1 steals. So, she's definitely done a great job there. Now, looking more intensely, we also do see, looking at Wnba Bonner, she actually does face off against Washington Mystics in this next game. Now, it is going to be an exciting game, but looking at where both of these teams do rank, starting off with Phoenix Mercury, we know that they actually rank 3rd in the WNBA with a record of 15 wins and 9 losses. That's a 62.5% win percentage. They are 9-4 from home, 6-5 from away, and are currently on a 3-game losing streak. Now, on the other side of things, we also do know they face off against, like I've mentioned, against Washington Mystics. Now, Mystics ranked 7th in the WNBA with a record of 12 wins and 12 losses. It's a 50% win percentage, 8-4 from home, 4-8 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak as well. So when it comes to that, we do very much like this, matchup between both of these teams. And looking at them defensively, we do see that the Mystics do rank 5th in points allowed. They also rank 4th in assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed, we actually see them rank 1st. So Mystics actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists. And a big reason for that is that when it actually comes to Wnba Bonner, and also this matchup, a big reason why we do like the under is not only that Mystics do a great job defensively, but they do a great job defensively, especially against the actual forward position. So for that, we do very, very much like this situation here for the under for someone like Wnba Bonner. Now, Bonner is a great player, but what we also have seen is that her usage rate, isn't the highest in this team. And since it isn't the highest, we are expecting other players in this actual matchup to, actually do a lot more of the usage rate out there for Mercury. So for that reason, we do very much love the under for this situation here for someone like Wnba Bonner. So keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to our averages, then definitely look to go on the under there.